On September 8th, 2025, a shocking discovery was made in Hollywood Hills. A heavily decomposed body was found in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to the rising singer David. Real name David Anthony Burke. That body was later identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, reported missing more than a year earlier. The discovery sent shockwaves through both the music world and true crime communities. How did a teenager missing for months end up inside the vehicle of a viral music star? What ties, if any, link Celeste and David? And what does the investigation, still unfolding, tell us about fame, digital culture, and possible dark realities behind the spotlight? Today, on Midcrime, we're going to walk you through everything known so far, from Celeste's disappearance, to the discovery of the body, to controversies around David's music and online presence. And we'll close with some reasoned thoughts on where the case may go. Stay tuned, subscribe, and let's begin. Before we dive into the case itself, let's establish who David Anthony Burke, also known as David, is. Burke was born in 2005. He rose to prominence in 2022 when his songs Romantic Homicide and Here With Me went viral on TikTok. His sound blends indie, alt-R&B, pop, emotional, and haunting. His 2025 album Withered dropped in April. In a resurfaced interview, David described a manga concept he created. A detective with a murderous alter ego named Itami, meaning pain, that commits crimes he later has to investigate. Some fans speculate that this creative persona parallels dark imagery in his music videos. Months before the body discovery, David's live shows and music videos used motifs like dragging bodies to car trunks, caskets, and references to blood, all of which now attract scrutiny in light of the case. But although these elements raise questions, no public evidence to date confirms a criminal connection. The authorities maintain that David is cooperating with their investigation. Now let's turn to Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the victim in this tragedy. Celeste was from Lake Elsinore, in Riverside County, California. Her family reported her missing multiple times in 2024. After the missing reports, there were occasional rumors she had returned home temporarily, but her whereabouts over many months remain uncertain. According to media, Celeste's mother said her daughter had been dating someone named David, though she reportedly never met him. Also, both she and David were noted to have a "shh" tattoo on their right index fingers. But again, no public confirmation from law enforcement has yet established when, or if, Celeste and David's paths crossed in a deeply known way. Other than clues and speculation, let's piece together the timeline of how the body was discovered and how the vehicle is connected to David. A Tesla Model Y registered to David was towed and impounded in the Hollywood Hills area after being parked for more than 72 hours and abandoned on a public street. Workers at the tow lot reported a foul odor coming from the vehicle, triggering a police check. Inside a plastic bag in the front trunk of the Tesla, officials discovered a decomposed and dismembered human body. The advanced decomposition suggests the body had been inside for a substantial time. On September 16th, local medical examiners confirmed the body was 15-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. The cause and manner of death remain under investigation. The official cause is marked as deferred, meaning more forensic work is needed. On or around September 17th, investigators executed a search warrant on a Hollywood Hills rental property believed occupied by David. They seized electronics, computers, and other materials as potential evidence. Around the same time, David reportedly began moving out of the residence. The home was known to have external security cameras. Because of the high profile of this case, it has drawn intense attention, including from online communities, music fans, and amateur detectives. Let's look at some of the more notable clues and tensions in the narrative. Auth Celeste and David were reported to share a "sh" tattoo on their right index finger. Some see this as a possible personal link. Fans have pointed to a photo of Celeste in a blue wig, somewhat reminiscent of wigs David used in his performances, fueling speculation that they may have known each other more directly. The themes in David's songs and videos, blood, bodies, motifs of death, dragging into trunks are now scrutinized under the lens of this case. Some online sleuths claim screenshots, leaked demos, or messages referred to a person named Celeste, or hint at deeper links. Others point out comment threads, like waiting for LAPD to get your ass for messing with a 13-year-old girl on his videos. But it's important to recognize, none of these speculative clues have been confirmed by authorities. Many could be coincidences, symbolic references, or misinterpretations. One recurring caution among experts: it's dangerous to equate artistic imagery with admissions of guilt. As Vice noted, David's theatrical visuals may be part of his creative identity, not evidence. Despite the intense coverage, as of now, no charges have been filed, and David has not been officially named a suspect. The LAPD states he is cooperating. The contrast between the strength of public speculation and the absence of formal legal action is one of the most compelling tensions in this case. So, where does the case stand now, and what questions remain? Authorities are waiting for toxicology, DNA, histology, and other examinations to establish cause of death, timeline, and manner, accident, homicide, etc. The seized electronics, computers, phones, will be critical. Investigators will look for chat logs, location data, communications between Celeste and David, or others. The homes, streets, moving activity, cars in the area all may hold clues. Cameras around David's rental property, the street where the Tesla was parked, and nearby premises are under scrutiny. The standard in U.S. homicide prosecutions is establishing probable cause and building a case that will hold up in court. The timeline from evidence gathering to charging can be long, especially when celebrity defendants and heavily publicized cases are involved. Already, David has had scheduled concerts canceled, including in Europe and Stockholm, and brand partnerships paused. As the investigation continues, media outlets and communities are watching for the first substantive disclosures from the LAPD, or the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office. Before we close, I want to address a few pitfalls and caveats that every true crime narrator must warn their audience about, especially in a case like this. Many of the links being drawn between David's music visuals and this case may be coincidental or symbolic. Care is needed not to leap to conclusions. When a case goes viral, pressures mount for authorities to move fast. But rushing can risk mistakes, missed evidence, weak prosecutions. Online sleuthing is often influenced by confirmation bias. Once someone believes in a link, they may selectively interpret ambiguous evidence. David is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Accusations, leaks, or commentary can cause real harm to individuals and families. Media reporting sometimes emphasizes rumors over verified facts. As creators, we must clearly label speculation versus confirmed detail. Given all these, we must approach this case with both curiosity and cautious responsibility. Now, I promised you some reasoned thoughts, so here's where I, as your host for Midcrime, land. And I stay clear that this is opinion, not a verdict. Given what we currently know, the connection between Celeste and David, tattoo, reported dating person named David, overlapping imagery, is intriguing and warrants further investigation. But absence of direct evidence, such as witness, surveillance, digital proof, means we are still far from proving involvement. The advanced decomposition suggests a longer time inside the vehicle, so questions about access, timing, and chain of custody are critical. My working hypothesis is this: if David is involved, it may not necessarily have been premeditated murder in a stereotypical sense. It could stem from a relationship gone wrong, miscalculations, or emergent events. But it also might turn out he had no direct involvement and is being linked by circumstantial overlap, though that seems less likely given the weight of speculation. In any event, I contend that the burden of proof will rest heavily on forensic science DNA, digital logs, timestamps, metadata to either corroborate or refute the links being made. Until then, we must withhold definitive judgment, but we should continue to demand transparency, accountability, and justice for Celeste, whose life ended tragically and whose story must be told with respect. This case is still unfolding, and much remains unknown, but already it poses deep questions about the intersection of artistry, fame, mystery, and tragedy. If you found this video helpful, please hit like and subscribe to Midcrime. We'll continue covering this story as new developments emerge. Drop in the comments below. What is your theory? Do you believe David is involved? Or do you think the case will reveal another path entirely? Until next time, stay vigilant, stay critical, and stay tuned for more true crime stories on Midcrime.